Hey everyone, this is Patricia Roebuck. I am excited to get back into this awesome scrapbooking and paper crafting industry. I have still been a part of it with Fun Stamper's Journey as a concept designer for them. I was a permanent part-time employee, and so I was exclusive to them. And so I left design teams in 2016 to be an employee with them. And I really have greatly missed being or feeling like I was part of this community still. I have met so many amazing friends, so I'm really excited. Even though this wasn't, I've been praying about this whole situation with my own creativity and my job and separating the two and still wanting to do the both of them, but God gave me a different answer than what I expected. And you know, he has us exactly where he wants us. So I'm excited to be back, and I am loving seeing what everybody's been up to and pulling out my Cameo again. It's like I feel like a kid again. And so I've been sharing a lot of my 2017 Traveler's Notebook. That is how I documented last year, and I finished it up. I would try to do as much personal creating like that as I could outside of my 20 hours, but it got difficult as time went by. And I am slowly but surely transitioning back to my personal supplies of what I have left. I kind of regret that I did actually get rid of some stuff, but you know, hey, that's all good. I am content. I have all that I need. So, but I am also very grateful because Studio Calico saw my Traveler's Notebook and they sent me the October Traveler's Kit. And it's awesome. I am enjoying it. I'm going to share it here in just a little bit. And if you wanted to start a Traveler's Notebook Kit subscription with them, which I personally would love to do, you can get $5 off if you use my coupon. They gave me a coupon to use. It's my name, Patricia 5. So it's capital PATRICIA 5. I just thought that was very sweet. And let me tell you, it's been a joy. I really feel like a kid playing with this kit. So I'm going to turn the camera around and now show you what I have been doing, and we're going to make a page together as well. So I'll be back. Okay everyone, I'm back, and let me show you. Now my kit is not pretty. I really wanted to take some pretty shots of it before, but I ended up digging into it first. But let me just show you what you do get, okay, even though I've dug into it. You get a notebook. You get this beautiful metallic copper kind of washi tape. You get these beautiful leaves that are like a fabric kind of leaf, and they're embossed. They're really amazing. They have a sticky back, so you just peel them and you just press them right onto your project, which I think is awesome. They always have the cutest little things like that. You get a full sheet. I really dug into these. I love these. They're from Korea. They're like little stamps. They literally, when you peel them off, the edges of them really do look like little edges of stamps, but I used them in various different ways, and I'll show you that in just a minute. And I did do a quick little story on my Instagram of this, but I wanted to do something here on YouTube. I'm just so excited to be back with everybody. So anyway, these are the stickers that you get. You get 2 sheets of each, which I love because there's always times that you wish that you had more. You get a full pack of these little die cut houses. They look like little post-it notes, but they are not sticky on the back. You peel them off and you can use it just like that. I've used these to stamp on and do some other things that I'll show you in a minute. And of course, Studio Calico gives you an awesome stamp set. Very usable, especially for memory keeping, which, oh, I love it. Love. And then of course everything comes in a nice little bag, which is great because it will hold your Traveler's Notebook and all your supplies and your additional supplies. So let me show you what I've done with this Traveler's Notebook so far. I've decided to definitely do fall since we're in the fall season, and this is the October kit. So I use stickers from my stash instead of stamping. I actually stamped with their Mega Date stamp on the inside here, and my ink pad was a little juicy and it showed through. So that's why I added the washi there to kind of cover it up. You can kind of see it a little bit still, but it kind of bothered me, so I did cover that up. You know, we make oopsies like that, and you know, you just got to roll with it and find ways to be creative around it. So I just simply used one of those house die cuts here and stamped the sentiment from the stamp set onto it with some of the washi, just to kind of have like a little intro page. I really am digging the simplicity of the kit because especially when I was working, you know, creating for a living, I didn't have a lot of time. So this is a perfect kit for someone with limited amount of time. And it just makes the album and makes your memories go, you know, just be able to document them fast. So what I've done here is I did start to get a little creative with the washi tape. And I adhered it to a piece of plain cardstock. And then I started using my punches, and I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do, but they started to remind me of little gems. So I stitched them together and did a little fun creative journaling there with about my little kitty cats. And then here I also used some more of the washi, and I die cut some old Studio Calico labels. Now I used the stamp, the ones with the little dots here, and there's the washi, and then I just trimmed one of the labels here to kind of give it a little balance. Added my typed journaling that I typed on plain cardstock, and then just cut and adhered that to that page. Now I love this album. As you look, most of the pages have a pattern paper on one side. It's all together already. Everything is already together. Most of the pages or spreads have the left side pattern paper and the right side the graph paper. Most of them. I'll show you in a minute how they're not all like that. But then on this next page, I wanted to get a little bit more creative with my photo. I really love this photo. This was on our anniversary, and I used a large 4x6 photo, and I just trimmed it in half to adhere on either side. Now, because of the busyness of the stripes over here, I tried to offset that with some of the black and the black over here. What I did over here is I used the stamp, the little pennant stamp, stamped that on plain cardstock with gray ink. Then I stamped this sentiment, and then I cut it up. And I didn't use every bit of it. I just used Good Things Happening. So I cut it up, and then this is a piece of wood veneer pattern paper from Alt New. I used the same Studio Calico dies that I have in my stash. And then I used those labels, which, like I said, I'm glad that they give you 2 sheets, because what I did is I kind of cut them up, and the labels and this and all that kind of breaks up those stripes. This page, I used those awesome stamps from Korea, and I just kind of just applied them randomly on the page to create a nice little flow around my journaling. But this part is actually from the packaging that came with it. They had the pictures of what was inside the package. So I just stamped that pennant stamp from the stamp set onto that and cut it out to adhere there. I actually really like this page, even though it's busy. Now here's a more simple page, and this I really love with the little pencil stamp from the set. And then I used the little eyeglass over here. But I used that little, one of those little stamp pieces, and I put some baby powder on the underside of it to make sure it's still kind of flapped up, because I really liked the whole look of that. And then I used some of the stickers and some of those awesome leaves. I looked up, this was our anniversary. We've been married for 28 years. So I looked up how many days that was. It's 10,222 days. Anyway, we're still going strong. We have definitely had our fair share of difficulties, but God is good. And this next page, now I wanted to just tell you this, okay? I am kind of particular about pattern paper with photos because of the colors in the pictures. So what, like I left this in color and I left this in color, and and it worked, even though a color that I'm wearing in the photo doesn't necessarily go with this, but it works. I offset it enough that it works. I didn't want to do it here. This was at TCBY, and this was definitely very, very colorful. So I made both of these photos black and white to work with this particular page. And then this is how I got creative with those stamps. I had die cut ahead of time. I actually did a few of them. A die cut from that same Studio Calico die set that I have. And I die cut a few of those. And then I also, here's another one that I did. Also used a little tag punch. So I used that here. I used a tag punch here, and then I used that label that I had done before that you saw on the other page. And here I just stamped directly onto one of those little house notepads, detail cut that out, and adhered my sticker. And then again, because you get 2 sheets of those stickers, I was able to cut those up, and I brought some of that color over onto the other page. I really love how that came out. So that is my last page, and that is what I have so far, and I'm excited to do some more. I am going to pick another page, and we're going to do some pumpkin patch pictures. So I'll be right back as soon as I get those photos printed. Okay, so I wanted to start with a photo that is a favorite photo from our recent pumpkin patch visit. And since this is a favorite photo, I want to emphasize just this photo on this 2-page spread. So what I like to do is I printed it a little bit less than 4x6, and then I leave about 1/8 of a border around it as I trim it with my trimmer. Now I want to get creative with these little house die cuts that come in the kit. And instead of using the die cut itself, I want the photo to really be the focus. I'm going to trace that onto vellum and use that as my journaling spot. And after I trim it out, I just erase any extra pencil marks that are around it. Now, I had been playing, like I said, with this kit before. So I have some washi that I adhered to cardstock, and I die cut it with some Studio Calico dies that I had in my stash to create little labels. So one side has washi, one side has cardstock. On the cardstock side, I used the polka dotted stamp from the stamp set in the kit. And I'm going to layer that with one of the black labels that's from the kit. And also with the Hello Fall sticker there. Now, I had stapled that together. But when I commit to this, I am going to use a little bit of adhesive just on the back of that and adhere that to the vellum. And then I can also put a little bit of adhesive on the back side of the vellum where those labels show that, so that it doesn't show through the vellum. So now that I have that in place in the photo, I can now kind of see how I want to balance this layout a little bit more, bring a little bit more focus to that photo. I'm using another die that I had die cut with the Studio Calico dies from my stash. It's a circle one here, and I'm going to use that in the upper left corner to bring attention to the photo on that side. And it makes sense because my husband is taller, so then it has that flow of my husband, me, my daughter, and then it comes back down to the journaling. I really like the flow of creating designs like that. Now that leaf I did end up moving a little bit and have it make it look a little more whimsical to go with the layout. Now what I'm doing is, instead of using that polka dotted stamp on an acrylic block, I'm using it with my fingers. I added a lighter blue color, which ended up being too light because then once it dried, it was hard to see, especially in photography. So I used this darker shade of green in kind of the same areas of those other polka dots, just to add a little bit of extra texture. I think it really goes with the nice fall look of these photos and this spread. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this inspires you to dig into this kit or subscribe to it and see the different ways that you can use these products. Thank you so much for watching.